stand in the brink and stand in the way of anyone on the radical left who thinks that it's okay for a penis to be in a women's locker room or a bathroom or a changing room. Hell no. This is not okay. I'm a survivor of rape. I'm a survivor of sexual abuse. And I'm not going to allow any man in any female private spaces. No. Forcing women to share private spaces with men is not dignity and not respect. And I'm absolutely going to stand in the way of anyone who thinks it's okay for a man to be in our locker room, in our changing rooms, in our dressing rooms, in women's bathrooms. And in fact, if you agree with that, you're crazy.
Tonight's red hot video, great stuff. South Carolina Congresswoman Nancy Mace taking no prisoners. What did she say back there? Taking an ABC reporter to school for questioning her push to ban men from women's bathrooms and shower rooms and locker rooms at the U.S. Capitol and in congressional office buildings, for the love of. Nancy Mace introduced a bill in Congress after a person named Sarah McBride from the state of Delaware, Joe Biden's state, a man pretending to be a woman. There's a lot of that going on these days. He was, real name Tim, elected to the House of Representatives just a couple of weeks ago. And today, House Speaker Mike Johnson, the Republican Speaker of the House, made it official, announcing all single-sex facilities in the Capitol and House office buildings, such as restrooms, changing rooms, and locker rooms, are reserved for individuals of that biological sex. Now, I think, Amber, that's kind of long overdue, and that should be the standard everywhere on the planet Earth.
It seems pretty obvious, doesn't it? It's shameful that the left has decided to sacrifice women on the altar of wokeness to protect the feelings and, frankly, in many cases, the sexual proclivities of men who want to invade our private spaces. The fact that they even want to be in there should raise a lot of questions about their motivations. And there have been a lot of women around this country who have been punished for speaking out about this, women who have been kicked out of their gyms for saying that I don't feel comfortable changing in front of a man. And I have to applaud Nancy Mace for speaking up vociferously about this. It's long overdue. It
really is. During an interview today, a news anchor, tried to scold Nancy Mace for not calling Sarah McBride, who identifies as a woman, not calling Sarah McBride a woman.
It's a man. She was born a man. She's a man. She's biologically a male. That is science. You guys on the left and the mainstream media want to say, follow the science. Well, let's follow the science, okay? He is a man. He can wear a dress. He can call himself, his pronouns can be she or her, but he doesn't belong in a women's restroom, period. He should not be forcing his private parts into women's private spaces. I'm absolutely a no, hard pass on this. I'm going to fight it every step of the way.
Now, Mercy, we've at least been made aware of the truth and the claim the Democrats have been making for years that there is a mental health epidemic in the United States of America, and it's them.
But they want to normalize everything that's abnormal. And I think when you see that the media plays this game of saying, well, no, he is really a she, and you're saying, no, there's two genders, and this idea that you all have created, including the social media big giants like Facebook, 60 genders is an outrage, and we have to stop this madness. And so I think what Nancy Mace is doing, we need so many more of those voices. I know we've seen Riley Gaines and the rest of them, but it is the women that need, and men that need to protect our women and need to protect our girls.
That used to be an American value. I remember that. Nancy Mace says that she has received death threats, surprise, surprise, like this one for taking the stance that she has taken.
This video goes out to Congresswoman Nancy Mace. Congresswoman Nancy Mace, I hope that one day I do find you in that women's bathroom and I grab your ratty-looking hair and drag your face down to the floor while I repeatedly bash it in until the blood's everywhere and you're dead.
Now, Foldi, I don't know why that clip reminds me of Silence of the Lambs, but I guess it's entirely appropriate. That's some pretty wacky stuff. And I remember women. I like women.
The left, I think, is forgetting the potency of this issue. And to Rob's point about Elon Musk, remember that history changed when Twitter locked out the Babylon Bee for referring to Rachel Levine as, who was, you've noted, high school football classmate or teammates with Mark Milley.
Right? Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Yeah.
And And they suspended forever the Babylon Bee from Twitter, which was the domino effect that led to Elon Musk buying Twitter.